And welcome back everyone to the iceHQ ice rink in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia on Wurundjeri traditional lands. We bid a very warm welcome tonight for the CCM National Women's Tournament to the West Australian Ice Quokkas and the Adelaide Wolves. We extend them a very warm welcome. Well, it's cold here in an ice rink, but warm Melbourne welcome to these two teams that have made a big trip across, in particular the Ice Quokkas making the big trip across the Nullarbor to come over to Melbourne to play this tournament. It is an absolute delight to have them here, and they need to stay on their side of the rink during the warm-up. Welcome to International Ice Hockey Rules. I'm sure they'll work that out pretty quickly, but we are delighted to have them here. West Australian team in the usual West Australian Bumblebee, the black and a yellow and white, and the Adelaide Wolves in a grey with grey and black trim and white shoulders. Looking excellent. Both teams very professionally attired. They look terrific, and it's great to have them here. This is game 2 of the CCM National Women's Tournament. The first game played just 10 minutes ago. It finished up with the Melbourne Flaming Galahs beating the Melbourne Furies 5-1 in a result not terribly unexpected. The Flaming Galahs were a very well rated team and will be a real threat to everyone throughout this tournament. We don't know absolutely nothing about these teams from West Australia and Adelaide. We'll do our absolute best to inform you of what's going on and keep you entertained, informed and educated as to how the game works. The international ice hockey rules in play this evening for this game are under rule 101, which is the women's rule, which is non-checking, which is not the same as non-contact. What that means is that players are allowed to contest the puck. They are allowed to make body contact. You are allowed to knock each other over as long as you are in the process of holding your own ground. You are not allowed to deliberately separate your opponent from the puck without the intention of playing the puck at the same time. So it's not like the NHL, it's not like the men's rules, it's the women's rule, which is the very common rule played for most recreational hockey across the world. Standard icing rules apply here today, not the unique beer league rule here, which is used for the beer league here at iceHQ. It's a different one. They're playing the standard icing rule, where if you play the puck up from behind in your own half, it crosses the offensive line, the offensive goal line without anyone touching it and without the referee thinking anyone could. It goes back to a face-off in your own defensive end, and you're not allowed to change, and that's the key to it. What that means is if you're a tied defensive player and you just dump the puck all the way down the other end, you can't get a change. You have to stay on the ice for the following face-off, which means you stay under pressure. It means that you can't just go wildly dumping the puck down the other end all the time, or you end up in strife. We'll be getting our game underway very, very shortly. These are 3 by 15-minute periods with a 1-minute intermission between each period. The teams will change directions at each break. So they start off and finish going to the end opposite to their bench, and the middle period, they go the other way. Our referees tonight looking after the show. We have 2 very experienced referees, making sure that everything is all by the book and by the rules. And we're looking forward to a very interesting contest today. Again, we know nothing at all about these two teams in terms of their players. It is a sub-elite competition. No one is allowed to be a current player in the Australian Women's Ice Hockey League. So it's mostly recreational players, and we'll see how they go. The West Australian players, big commitment coming over here, but they need to remember to put a D on the ice. At the moment, they've got 4 instead of 5, so they're going to need to sort that out, and they do. It was a bit telling when players still dawdling around before the start of the game, but underway in just a sec. The puck dropped immediately, and South Australia wins the face-off, gets an opportunity to go through the middle of the attacking zone, deep into the corner there. That's 78 there in Emily Gunn, making a nice break through the middle, but puck just cleared out of the zone by the West Australians. Nice little deflection through the neutral, through the high slot position. Still more pressure on the puck, and West Australia trying to clear it out, but unable to. South Australia with a good forward-checking pressure here. The Wolves keeping the puck in deep and forcing the West Australian Quokkas to play the puck around the back of the net. But the defensive player there just making a nice break out. That's their number 8 in Hannah Everly with a nice piece of play, clearing the puck out. They'll get their first change, but a loose opportunity now for Adelaide going deep into the corner and attack. But again, that's Hannah Everly taking the puck around the back of the net competently, but she manages to just come adrift. And South Australia now with an opportunity with an unmarked player on the point, gets a shot on the net. Good opportunity for the South Australians. West Australians not yet able to clear the puck out of the zone. They've been stuck down there for a little while and still there, but West Australia now with an opportunity to break the puck up the boards, but South Australia on the point, keeping it in. And that's Jenna Mitchell trying to clear the puck out. A little bit of fancy footwork. She wants to clear the puck out rather than get fancy, but she manages to get the puck up the half boards, and West Australia still with the puck in their defensive zone, but finally it pops out and they get an opportunity now for an attack down the other end. Heading into the corner is Ansheen. Tries to play the puck up to the middle, but just well defended by the South Australians. West Australia with the puck up on the point. And now the South Australian Wolves just trying to clear the puck up through the half boards and clear it out of the net, but still not quite able to clear. So far it's been a game of constant pressure in the offensive zone, with neither team able to successfully clear it out of their zone very well. This time South Australia looking to use the boards to help. Puck down, stuck in the feet, and out it comes for the South Australians with a 2-on-1. Not able to capitalise on it. West Australia hurrying back and fixing it. Looks like now an opportunity for the West Australian Quokkas to show us their breakout. And they do with the puck down the middle, but straight to the South Australian defence, tidying it up nicely. But with a pass across to through the neutral zone, intercepted by Blackman, I think that was. And she's looking to play the puck up through the middle. But South Australia now with the puck through the neutral zone. Nice opportunity now with the 1-on-1. Can we get a shot away? Or we're just going to carry the puck into the corner. We get the first shot on the net for South Australia. Nice little enterprising move there. Madeline Smith cleaning it up for the West Australian Ice Quokkas. Puck on the half board, stuck in a board battle at the moment. South Australia looking to try and get a shot on the net. Bit of a swing and a miss by the South Australian close in the slot. So the West Australians will need to keep control of those loose players in the slot. There's a common theme in these games is not allowing loose players to have time and space in the slot, which is the area directly in front of the goal. West Australia, they like their cross-ice passes under defence. It's a risky play. It does give the attacking team the opportunity to pick it off. But now South Australia with the puck deep, firing it deep into attack. A bit of neutral zone chaos as the West Australian captain Kate Harper tries to break it through the neutral zone with speed. Bit of left and right puck handling, does a few dekes, gets a shot on. Capably swallowed up there by, I think, Jade Hodge, the goalie for the Adelaide Wolves. And we will see a face-off deep in the attacking zone for the West Australian Ice Quokkas. We're about 4 minutes into the game. And we're about even on shots and no goals yet to be scored. Offensive zone face-off for the West Australian Ice Quokkas. We've got 10 minutes to play. Nice shot out from the point there by number 17, and Zoe Sutton, one of the alternate captains for the Ice Quokkas, and she puts the puck in well into the slot zone. Big shot, but just over the top of the net. A little bit of push and shove in the defensive zone by Adelaide, showing that they're not going to be pushed around. You need that level of assertiveness. This is a non-checking but not a non-contact grade. Denson for Adelaide manages, Sally Wilson I should say. Needs some good defensive pressure for the Adelaide Wolves. She looks pretty strong and assertive, no one's going to push her around. West Australians try to clear it around the back of their net to clear it out of the zone. They've got to be a little bit careful there, pinching in a lot on defence. So they're going to open up opportunities for counter-attacks if they're not careful. We'll see how that pans out in the second and the third period. But West Australia now with an opportunity to break it up the boards, and they've got numbers up the side, but not quite able to carry it through. The pocket picked by the South Australian defence. And they're in numbers, South Australia. Everyone's struggling with the staying on their feet with the slick ice from the recent cut. West Australia steals the puck. In 22, she has a shot across the net. Oh, just saved by the Lara Payne on the post there. That puck bouncing off. Jade Hodge a little bit lucky there. She kind of watched it. And the puck hit the post. And she'll tell you that that's what she meant. Of course, goalies always do. Shout out to Anton Goss, who normally does the play-by-play commentary here. Him being a goalie, he'll tell you that every time. It's 83 for the West Australian Ice Quokkas, firing the puck across the front of the net. But South Australia is strong and holding it. That was Jenna Mitchell with that enterprising move, but the South Australian defence well and truly back and stable in the slot, owning that position very nicely as number 8 in Hannah Everly breaking up the puck for West Australia. She's gone coast to coast, gets a shot on, but well saved by Jade Hodge in the net for Adelaide and South Australia, I should say, as the West Australians try again to get another shot on. But good solid defence. Once they get back there, the South Australians doing a good job of owning that territory. The Melbourne team's no doubt watching this game with interest. We haven't seen these players before, but they are certainly strong. We get an opportunity now for South Australia in Zoe Messenger, but shuffled down into the corner by Kay Brewer, who stops that move. But South Australia, nice enterprising shot across the net by the South Australians. No one quite able to capitalise on it. The West Australians stuck down in their zone, but they managed to break it out now and not quite able to get clean puck as the puck sort of deflects around through the neutral zone fairly inconclusively. A little bit of a battle between Brewer and I think Emily Gunn. Emily manages to get through, looking for a backhand shot, drops the puck, big shot on by Zoe Messenger, but it just sprays out to the left of the net. Another shot on the net, just bobbling around the front, but West Australians manages to clear it out, but not quite. It's caught there on the point by the South Australian defence. And now West Australia with a bit of room to move. Will they carry the puck safely? No. Some interesting decisions is the best way you could put that. But a nice save in the end by Madeline Smith. After some interesting decision making by the West Australian defence, looking to pass across without an awful lot of authority. If you're going to do that, you've got to put some sauce on it. You can't afford to do little dribblers across the front of the net. You've got to either play it safely up the boards or around the back, or if you are going to put it across the front of the net, you've really got to put something on it. Deep into the corner now in attack for the Wolves. So far, 5 shots apiece. This has been a pretty even game. Good fight for territory in front of the net by the West Australian defence there as well, which is good to see. If you want to play in front of the net, be prepared to get pushed around. That's how it works. Through the neutral zone. A little enterprising pick up by the South Australians, but West Australia back in number, the Quokkas. No one's playing Quokka soccer here. Off to Rotto. And West Australia not quite able to clear the puck up the boards, but it's a safe option and the puck bounces up. Maddie Smith just managing to push the puck into the corner there with a bit of those loose bobbly pucks. Always difficult to deal with. The 4-player board battle, everyone ending up on their backsides. And running around the back of the net now, West Australia with an opportunity to clear it up the boards if they can. And the puck comes up the side to 89 and Ash Cameron. She's looking for an opportunity to clear it out, but loses the puck deep into the corner, and we have a bit of a board press. West Australians managing to sort it out. And it's broken out nicely by the West Australians through the side, but Adelaide managed to clear it, and it's back into the neutral zone for a more indeterminate puck. And West Australia going side by side here, looking for an opportunity for a player on the move, and it's Harper for West Australia skating deep in, trying to get a forecheck onto the South Australians who play backwards and forwards behind the net a little bit. So you can do that once or twice, but don't overdo it. And now they trying to clear the puck out of their zone. Good strong forechecking pressure by the West Australians, but the South Australians managed to clear it out, the Wolves. And they've driven the puck all the way down the other end, and that will unfortunately for them be an icing. They're not allowed to change, so they have to stay on the ice. That's that. Clear the puck out from behind your own defensive zone, behind your own mid-line. Puck goes all the way down the other end, and without anyone touching it, and you have to have a defensive zone face-off, and you can't get a change until after the face-off. Face-off won by South Australia behind them safely, a good option. Now looking to clear the puck around the back of the net and up the other side. In front of the scoreboard, the loose bobbling puck shot out again by South Australia. And we're going to have another icing. So they'll have to go back and do it all again. The reason for the rule, in case you're curious, is so that defensive teams can't do what South Australia just did and get a change. It gives an attacking team a little bit of an advantage. They get to keep the pressure on the defending team, and the defending team can't get a rest, and the attacking team can. He wins this face-off. South Australia wins it again, safely off to the sides. They're doing a good job with the face-offs. As 44 there, Kay Brewer manages to control the puck for the iceHQ. Those iceHQ have been pretty cold. The Adelaide team playing it around behind the net safely. It's a good place to put the puck in defence, because you can't score from behind the net. It's very difficult when they play it up and break it up through the neutral zone. West Australia back in numbers. A good job of preempting the attacking move by Adelaide. A push and shove in a board battle. 4 or 5 sticks getting in there, but the West Australians coming out with it. Straight back to South Australian and their Wolves backwards and forwards through the neutral zone. Back to Adelaide with possession, but they not quite able to clear it. The West Australians just with a little tap across the front of the net, looking to get a shot on if they can, or drive a slot into the player into the slot for a shot, and they do. They get the slot pass across, but no one there for the Quokkas to put it in the net, and the puck bobbles out. All the West Australians having to come back onside. And this time it's Zoe Sutton looking to get a shot on. She's carried the puck in. Nice shot. And Jade Hodge just closes the door on that one. A little bit lucky to get away with it, but she managed to. The puck was trapped underneath the pads. And in the end, lucky save, but a lucky save is a good save. Any save is a good save. And I'm being joined now by Craig Armstrong-Frey. Welcome, Craig, to the CCM National Women's Tournament. It's great to have you here, and I understand you had a lot to do with organising this tournament.
Thank you, Carl. Great to be here. Really great to see everybody coming such a long way to be part of the tournament.
So it's fantastic to have people making a trip all the way across the Nullarbor, the West Australians in particular, but so too South Australians. They've had to cross a flood.
And down from the Gold Coast. So I was actually up in, not the Gold Coast, sorry, the Central Coast. I was actually up there myself the other week for a Masters tournament.
Yep, all the old guys, yeah.
That's it. But no, really great to see, and the teams seem quite even. There's a lot of good skill on both sides. So.
Oh, absolutely. This is proving to be a great contest. This one, we are 6 shots apiece, and although both teams showing some significant defensive lapses, they're certainly back checking hard, and they're closing it up. The Melbourne teams that want to be careful they don't get complacent. They might think, it's our rink, it's our barn, but these women, they've come here with a bit of grit, and if you make the commitment to cross the Nullarbor, you're not just coming over here to come third.
No, absolutely. Another outstanding save there from the Perth goaltender. I've actually seen some really great saves from her this game already.
That's Madeline Smith, I believe, and she's doing very well.
The Adelaide team are very, very good at sealing off their attacking zone, so they're keeping that puck in at that blue line very well.
Yes, it's been very much a game of teams being stuck in defensive zones and not able to clear it very well, if you've noticed. A lot of the times the defence is not quite able to clear the puck out of the zone as well as they'd like.
No, you need some strength really to get that puck high up off those glass and just get that out of the zone.
And they've also made some interesting decisions with regards to cross-ice passes, which if you've ever been coached by me, you'll know that's a bit of a no-no.
So good pressure here from Perth.
So the Adelaide team not quite again able to clear it out, but it's in the slot. And Adelaide looking to clear the puck up the boards, and they do nicely this time. They've got an opportunity. But Storm for the West Australians manages to dump it back into attack for the Adelaide for the West Australians, but it's back into defence for them again. Storm goes back and she clears it up. Can the South Australians make a shot out of this one? Just dribbles across the front of the net. No one quite able there to sort it out, but they did their best. And we'll see if we can get some decent shots. What both teams are looking to do here in attack is to try and get a pass across the middle in front of the net. And the South Australians with a loose player in the slot at the moment, which is dangerous for the West Australians. They need to do something about that. That was number 3 there, Zoe Messenger, was unmarked in the slot. And the West Australians will need to tidy it up. And now we have another loose player in the slot, but Maddie Smith
great save
saves the bacon.
Right on the buzzer. You can see Storm and Green battling there in front of the net. There's some really good net front battles going on, but that was a fantastic save there.
It certainly was. She put herself in the right place. The South Australians with a loose player, and defensively you just can't afford to let that happen. But it did, and the last line of defence, Maddie Smith, she tied it up. So the players now with a 1-minute break between the two periods. Ice Quokkas with 6 shots on, Adelaide Wolves 8. The score at the moment is 0-0. And again, Craig, we're delighted to have these two teams here with us, the West Australian Ice Quokkas and the Adelaide Wolves, for this CCM National Women's Tournament here at the iceHQ ice rink here in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia. So what brought you here, Craig?
Well, I'm involved obviously in helping set up the tournament, so I really wanted to come down tonight and make sure that it got off to a good start. I wasn't able to make the first game. Really good to see, like I say, everybody here. I've got a special interest in the refereeing, and I've got 2 referees out there tonight doing a great job. We've got Zach Searle and Andrew Crowther.
Yeah, Crowther does a fantastic job here as well. It's interesting to see how the teams are organised. They've only got 1-minute intermissions, and they're still busily talking to each other. And the coach is the game started.
Yeah, that's right. Well, the Perth coach there is a very good friend of mine, Janos Kossela. He's actually stepped out onto the ice to deliver his talk to the team, and I've never seen that before.
So the referees at this point are within their rights to either drop the puck or start handing out 2 minutes for delay the game.
I'm sure they're not going to be doing that. But I think one thing that Perth needs to look for is they're collapsing down towards their own net a lot. So, and I think their coach would have had a word to them about that, because they've gotten a little bit better. But funny thing is, just late in that last period, they actually left that attacking player alone in front of that net to take that shot.
They did, and that's one of the big cardinal sins, isn't it? Is loose player in the slot or the uneven rush.
Yeah.
And puck goes deep into attack for West Australia, but the South Australian ladies trying to clear it out, and this time they do nicely. That's a good clearance from the zone, but straight to the South Australian defender in Brewer, and she's circling around looking for options.
Smart play there from Brewer to not just dump it back in and give it away. She's keeping possession, which is key.
Puck still in the defensive zone, but Adelaide now with the puck in the neutral zone. And that's 74. I should know the numbers by now. That's Cara Cook looking for an opportunity to fire the puck through and around the corner, but the West Australians tied it up. Not quite able to get clean possession there. And as a result, Adelaide drive deep into the corner looking for an opportunity to put the puck across the front like they did in the last period. And this time they get a nice shot.
So you can see here again, Perth is just collapsing in, although Brewer's doing a job staying out there on the wing. But the other players are all collapsing inwards, and it's just leaving the Wolves, the Adelaide team, an opportunity here to take a few easy shots on net.
Yeah, it is too. It's that classic thing of wingers getting a little bit drawn in.
Oh yeah.
And forgetting their job. It's not just in defence, but also to be that outlet. If your wingers aren't up high, you've got no one to pass to.
Yeah,
you've got no counter-attack. And if you've got no counter-attack, you've got no goals. You're just going to be stuck there forever. It's an easy thing to say here from the commentary box, of course, and a much harder thing to do. But
an opportunity there for Steele carrying that puck.
And it's gone straight through.
Steele with a shot on net, and in it goes.
And there's a saying that was one of the most famous ice hockey players of all time will tell you, and that's Wayne Gretzky's rule.
Yeah.
You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. And if you get a shot on the net, even from way out here on the point with not much on it, sometimes goalies let them through, and that's exactly what just happened. So West Australia break the drought. They're up with 1 goal from a shot out on the point, and that was, I'm not quite sure who it was yet, but we'll have that in just a second. But it just shows the wisdom of get a shot on the net.
So
we drop
the puck with the lights off. We don't want that.
We'll get a restart there.
So the goal there was from Pia Steele. I didn't see any assists on that play, but I'm sure there was a pass to it at some point.
Played out of the deep. But it shows you the importance, Craig, of just getting a shot on the net. You've got to do it. Get a shot on from anywhere, and sometimes they go in. West Australia, beautiful win in the face-off. They get nice possession, but now they play it back to their D and looking for an opportunity up the boards. Stuck in the neutral zone is the puck. And now South Australia with an opportunity to play it out, but just being a little bit dribbly with their clearances. They're trying to be a little bit too cute. Sometimes in that situation, your priority is get the puck out of the zone.
Some good defense there from Harris from Adelaide. She's very strong on the puck, and she's got a great stick.
It just needs to be possibly a little bit more assertive with her passing. So they're just kind of dribbling around. Good positional play for sure. Certainly good commitment blocking the puck. It's going to sting.
Well, there's some good positioning there from Adelaide Wolves. I mean, they're disciplined and they're staying in the right place. Once again, Perth is a little guilty of gathering around the puck a little too much.
Yeah, it's not 5-year-olds playing soccer, is it?
No,
certainly not. But yeah, I think what the Adelaide can be just a little bit more assertive with their passing out of the defensive zone. Prioritising clearing the puck will help them as well. Like a 1 foot pass is generally a bad option.
Yeah, one of their players there is still coming to grips with the offside rule.
We have an odd player rush here for the West Australians carrying it in, but beautifully covered. South Australian defence well up to the job. And that was, I think, Kaylee Hill there carrying the puck in for the West Australian Quokkas. Was not quite able to get the shot away. She was well covered by the South Australian defence as they play up through. We get an offside? No,
Messenger up to Cook.
Yep, nice
Cook's
play.
Lost control of the puck though, and now Perth has it behind their own net.
West Australians looking to clear it up the boards, and they do so.
Everly gets a good pass away there.
It's a crossover for a nice opportunity for an odd player rush, but
there goes Sayers. Sayers has got the puck in deep.
Adelaide back in numbers while the West Australians get a change.
Now Mitchell gets the puck. She's looking for the pass out in front. Puck's still
that.
there, it's still loose. They're banging away at it.
You can see that loose player for the West Australians in Scene, I think it is. And she's just floating around totally unmarked in the slot. South Australia need to do something about that. Where she is extraordinarily dangerous. But they get away with it.
Seen as unseen.
Yep, certainly was there. Great play. She got in good position.
Oh, yeah. Now she's back checking well. She's marking up her player.
Shot goes across the front, and no damage to the rink by the South Australian. Checking out the Elwood sign there, just having a pretty good look at it. As they try and get that pass across, but West Australian feet in the way. And they clear the puck out nicely.
That'll be icing if it goes all
Could
the way.
potentially be an icing call. And that's an icing. And the reason for that, if you're not aware of it, the puck was played from behind the red line in the middle and goes down the other end without the possibility of the attacking player, of the defensive player getting there first.
Now we are playing the hybrid icing rule today.
Yes, which is the international ice hockey rule.
And Ange Seen was very close to actually negating that icing there, but it ended up being a 50-50 call. In that situation, the referee's going to blow that play down.
See the defensive zone face-off now for the West Australians. How they set up. South Australia with the puck now on the point. Just the puck bobbling loose. Can the West Australians clear it from their zone? The Quokkas looking for an opportunity to clear it out, but the Wolves get a shot across the front. Dangerous pass across the front there, almost picked up by Emily Gunn.
Here comes Scene down the left wing. Great defence there from number 70, Kate Green. And again from Green.
And Green doing an excellent job of covering up and reading the play.
A little bit offside here. Again, the Perth team just
I don't know, Craig, was that a little bit offside?
Just a little bit. It's just a couple of inches in that one.
So the way the offside rule works, if you're not aware of it, if the puck, you're not allowed to enter the offensive zone, which is to say cross the blue line until the puck is in. And if the puck comes out of that zone, every attacking player must come out before any attacking player can go back in. South Australia now with the puck and they clear it back out of their zone.
Everyone's touched up, so we're all back on side again.
And the puck in the corner, and South Australia need to get to that fairly promptly. And they do. They clear that puck out just up to the half boards. But West Australians with an opportunity now, but it bobbles across the other side of the rink. And South Australia safely clear it out of the zone. It's down the other end now. West Australia deep in the corner to clear it. And they manage to clear the puck out. It goes past everyone through about 5 sets of feet. And we're playing a little bit of tennis here. The puck going end to end and players trying to do the best to go with it as well. South Australia now trying to clear it out of their zone. Still just being a little bit too cute with the puck. As West Australia now consolidate their attacking position. They've got a loose player just floating around in the slot with a stick on the ice. South Australia need to sort that out. Now the back check required as we have a one-on-one situation. But a beautiful back check by the West Australia.
Oh, we have a penalty.
But a penalty, and fair enough too. That's gone up for an interference. The West Australian player went underneath the South Australian and took her legs out from underneath her, and that will be 2 minutes. That's the first penalty of the tournament.
It is.
We didn't get one in the first game.
No. The boys pitched a no-hitter there.
Yep. One to the naughty box. It was a desperate back check, and I can't help but think the trip was a bit accidental.
Could be, or you could also argue
matter.
that it's one of those penalties that had to be taken.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Zoe Holman sitting 2 minutes for tripping. Oh, shot on net. Oh, just kept out there by Messenger. So close there, but a good save.
Yeah,
Sorry, not Messenger, from Smith.
We actually introduced a rule in our beer league here in the lower grades where we made it illegal to deliberately leave your feet. because too many people were turning themselves into human cannonballs.
Yes.
But that doesn't apply here. That's a local rule. And it's a bit of a safety consideration when people try and put themselves head first or foot first into the boards. But that's irrelevant here. West Australia with a shot.
That's a good PK from WA here.
It is. It's an aggressive penalty kill.
Yep, but
the
they're keeping, I mean, they had two in the attacking zone then, but their D were back in the neutral zone there. So they are playing it safe, and they're just sitting in just those two forecheckers. They're able to get a shot on net, get a whistle. It's exactly what you want, an attacking zone face-off on the PK.
So if you're watching this game from home and you're not quite exactly aware of how it works at the moment, the Ice Quokkas with one player sitting in the penalty box for a tripping infraction, which means we have a 5-on-4 situation. So the South Australians with 5 players on the ice, not including the goalie, and the West Australians with 4. So they have a numerical advantage. which does obviously make a difference. And you're going to see it here where the South Australians can attack with numbers against the West Australians.
There goes Hill. Hill taking a shot on net. Good shot. A little bit of a rebound. Puck loose in front. There's a bit of a hook there from Hill. It looks like she's got away with that one.
Referees, that wasn't a hook.
And of course, on the PK, there is no icing either. So WA can dump that puck in as much. Oh, they've picked it up. Number 10.
25
there
seconds
goes
to go on the penalty.
Scene couldn't quite get that shot away.
South Australia now with the opportunity with the 2-on-2. Desperate back check there by Scene trying to get back and make up numbers, and she does. And the West Australians with a good job of closing up. 15 seconds to go on the penalty kill.
Green picks
South
it
Australia
up.
with a shot chance. Not able to get the shot away. It was a good option. This time they lob it in, but West Australian sticks all over the place. And on the drop of the puck, the penalty has been killed. So great defensive play there by the West Australian Ice Quokkas.
Great keeping there by Trapolino on that blue line. I mean, that puck was moving really fast. He managed to corral it and get a good shot on net. Well done.
So Holman will be out on the drop of the puck. So South Australians need to be a bit careful here because Holman can jump straight out and they won't necessarily know she's there. If they can clear the puck out, then you've got an instant opportunity. But the South Australians won the face-off, and as a result, they were safe. We're back to full strength now, both teams 5-on-5. Holman with fresh legs. She's been sitting in the penalty box for 2 minutes. She comes blasting through up the side, but corralled into the corner, but now she drives across the front.
Green loose in front.
And
Scene with another shot on net. So close to another goal there.
not sure if that went in or not.
They're celebrating, but there's no signal from the referee. So
yeah, we're waiting on confirmation from the refs. No goal. Very good opportunity. Seen there with a great little tip in, but it mustn't have gone in. We'll see that on the replay here in just a second, Craig. You can see it just on the monitor. The puck comes across the front there. Seen with a shot.
Off the post.
Bounced off everything.
And well covered in the end by Messenger.
It's a bit of a heartbreaker when that happens. But that's the vagaries of this sport. You think it's gone in, and it's bounced off everything and not actually finished up in the back of the net. If it doesn't go in the twine, it doesn't count all the time. Quokkas at the moment up 1-0 with 3 minutes and 40 seconds to play in the second period. South Australia breaking it out from their defensive zone through the neutral zone. And 76 for Adelaide. In Fryer, she's looking to get a shot on. Driven into the corner. It's a common play for the defence to shove that player deep into the corner so they take their angle away. And then all they need to do is make sure there's no one loose in the slot. And it's very hard to score. An organised defence in hockey is a very difficult thing to score against. But if you can get it disorganised, if you can create some chaos, that's when goals get scored. The puck just bobbling around loose again for the South Australian team, the South Australian Adelaide Wolves. I do like their grey kit, Craig. It looks pretty good.
It does, yeah. And again, you can see that really great positioning, just keeping that puck in that attacking zone. And Perth really struggling to get it out. Finally got an opportunity. Oh, again, the puck kept in that zone. Great work there on that point.
Yeah, it certainly is. I think a lot of that's those wingers just collapsing down a little bit too deep, as you were saying earlier. But finally the puck comes out for West Australia. They've all got to clear the zone. Sorry, for South Australia. They've got to clear the zone and break back in again. And that is
Sally Wilson there.
Sally Wilson driving it in. Tries to get a shot away and another shot, but it's bouncing off body parts and sticks. But if you put bodies in the way, that makes a difference. And you can see it in action. Puck out again. Here's an opportunity for Steele if it can happen. 1-on-none opportunity now for the West Australians. They get the shot away, and it's in the net.
Mitchell.
This time, no mistake.
With a shot, is it? 83 is Jenna Mitchell. Well done. That pass came from number 14, which is Pia Steele. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it'll be goal Mitchell from Steele.
I dare say it will. And it's that the danger of the odd player rush, Craig. If you let them get away, that's when the easy goal. Well, not going to say easy, but that's the most likely place for goals to be scored. Goals are scored mostly in hockey in odd player rushes, so someone getting out behind the other team's defence, and loose players in the slot. And we just saw the odd player rush. Very well executed indeed. That gives the West Australians a 2-goal lead over the Adelaide Wolves. With 1 minute and 25 seconds to go in the second. The Ice Quokkas 2 goals, the Wolves 1. Shots on the net so far, 10 goals to the Quokkas to 14 for the Wolves. Again, it's a bit of a misleading statistic. It doesn't tell you if they're good shots. It just tells you that they're shots. But it does tell you a little bit about the flow of the game. It's been very even.
It has been very even. And
just put themselves offside. Number 4 there for Adelaide in in Sally Wilson, just kind of skating across, possibly looking for a lead pass that didn't happen.
It was actually number 34 there,
Was
actually. Yep. Brianna Morello.
Apologies. I've got my glasses on.
You make a great ref.
I've got my glasses on.
Yeah, exactly. You still can't see. Yeah. Another great keep in there from Trapolino. And now Cameron goes in to get that puck. Trapolino keeps it in again at the blue line. Finally, Perth's able to clear. Icing's waved off.
There's an aggressive forecheck coming in now from the West Australians. 2 players in deep on the forecheck. But the Adelaide players clear it around the back of the net safely. And they're looking for an opportunity to clear it out of the zone, and they do. But straight to a West Australian defender who picks the puck up. We're stuck in a neutral zone lotto as the puck comes in now. West Australians with a high challenge for the D, but it worked out well.
Morello trying to get that puck. Covered now by Smith again. Another buzzer beater.
Yep. Good timing on the save. Beautiful work there by the West Australian goaltender. And we have another 1 minute intermission. We'll see if the coaches can stick to it. And at the end of the second period, the West Australian Ice Quokkas with a 2-goal lead over the Adelaide Wolves, 2-0. Shots on the net. The goals so far, I should say, both scored in the second. One to Pia Steele, assisted by Candice Maverick, and the second one, Jenna Mitchell, unassisted with a beautiful solo breakaway and just managing to wrong foot the goaltender. We have shots on the net. It's that horribly misleading statistic. 10 shots to the West Australian Quokkas, 14 to the Ice Wolves. And it's a funny statistic, that one, Craig, because it just doesn't tell you if the shots are any good. But we saw that first goal. If you looked at that and the goalie had just saved it, the one that Pia Steele put in, you'd look at that and you think that wasn't a good shot.
Well, you'd think that.
But it went in.
It went in.
It went in.
It's probably one that Madeline Smith wants back. Because it went in 5-hole from a fair distance out. I think we're seeing a very, very good game here. Sorry, not Madeline Smith, from Natasha Lovell. I think Natasha Lovell would want that one back. Madeline Smith is having an outstanding game in net.
She's doing pretty well. She's had some good pressure and a couple of decent breakaways she's had to save. And there's that ringer off the post as well that we're a bit lucky with.
Yep.
And bounced off everything. Another layer of paint, maybe a goalkeeper skate in a different position, and it could well have gone in instead of not. But the nillies don't count, do they? This is Australian rules football. If you miss, you don't get a point for trying. If you've got the ball, you don't have to bounce to slow down to give everyone else a chance. This is ice hockey.
That's right.
It's a real game.
That's right.
And we're seeing it pretty good here. We're certainly enjoying the spectacle. And again, we're very happy to have the West Australian Ice Quokkas and the Adelaide Wolves here as we're about to get the puck drop for the third 15-minute period gets underway. And the West Australians win that face-off, but it's a bit messy. Back to their D for a bit of control for what are they going to do with it. Don't get too cute, ladies. There we go. Out it pops. They've cleared the zone. West Australia all onside, which is good to see. Nice forechecking pressure from them there, but the South Australians clear the puck out. And racing across the side of the rink, the South Australian
Hayley Hill.
And she's done a nice job of trying to create an opportunity, but the West Australians retrieve it, and they break up along the bench side of the boards.
Kate Harper to Danica Zooks.
Nice shot from her.
Zooks takes a great shot on net. Great save there from Natasha Lovell.
Lovell doing a nice job of swallowing that one up, and we'll get a defensive face-off. Now, it's interesting to have a look, Craig, at how the different teams set up their defensive zone face-off. It's something I spend a lot of time on with my developer teams, and where you put your wingers and what you get them to do.
Well, what they've done here is they've loaded their strong side, so they've put both of their wingers on the left-hand side of that face-off, which is a little unusual.
It's very successful. That's what we teach.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's still a little unusual
we
because
have a 2-on-1 situation for South Australia.
We've got an offside situation.
Offside.
They've got a touch up. They're still offside. They're still offside. Bit of a tumble there on the blue line.
Good opportunity there for South Australia. Just not quite able to make it work. But great enterprising play with that break. And it's that trying to catch the defence unorganised. If you can draw them in a little high, then you can get a disorganised defence, and it creates magnificent opportunities.
Chloe Sayers with the puck now. Gets it out into the neutral zone, but it's broken up. Sent back in again by South Australia.
We've got now, it's 83, 83, I'm sorry, I've got my glasses on
Jenna
now.
Mitchell again.
Jenna Mitchell looking for an opportunity.
She's looking strong, a great skater.
Skates nicely, tries a wrap around.
Oh, great play.
West Australia still with a loose power on the point, gets a shot in through traffic, but it hits the traffic. And now the South Australians breaking out. They've cleared the zone. Scene back there cleaning up the mess. She's doing a great job. She's quick and agile. I really like this scene. She's pretty good.
Jenna Mitchell again with another great shot on net.
Puck deep in the corner. Just a little bit of a lull in proceedings as the West Australians now looking to try and get another shot on and perhaps take the lead out to an extra goal. But the South Australians would love to finish this game with a goal. And let's not forget, it's only a 2-goal lead. We've seen the Maple Leafs loose from better positions than this, haven't we?
I think we've seen the Maple Leafs lose in just about anywhere, haven't we?
Well, we'll leave it for the first round, then they can get the golf clubs out. But looks like we've got a penalty here. Is it a bench penalty? It's too many players? I'm not sure. We'll find out what this one's for in just a moment.
It's a tripping penalty.
Another tripping.
This time it's Mitchell, Jenna Mitchell, serving the 2 minutes for tripping.
Off to the naughty corner. So we get another power play for the Adelaide Wolves. They will have a 5-on-4 numerical advantage.
Crucial. This is a crucial power play for the Wolves here. They're 2 goals down. They're in the last period, and these are short periods.
They are. They've got to score.
They need to score on this power play.
If they want to win the game, this is where they give themselves a chance. Puck bobbles out in front of the net, but the West Australians clear it out. Now they can just dump it all the way down the other end, and there's no penalty for it now. It being a penalty kill, you can ice the puck and it doesn't count as an icing. And they get the puck out now. They've got a one-on-one.
Holman's got a breakaway.
We do love a shorty. And Holman's shot swallowed up by the South Australian keeper. And it's often said that the best form of defence is attack.
The best penalty killer is your goalkeeper.
Well,
in this particular case, they've actually got the power play. So
I'm always a bit remiss about that. I reckon if you're going to go for a breakaway in that situation, you're on your own.
Well, we're seeing a very aggressive penalty kill here from Perth. It's what a lot of teams are now referring to as a power kill.
Yes.
Oh,
a lot of goals
shot on
do get
net and
scored
it pops
from
out on front because it comes off the side of the cage.
It's often the case that teams will leave themselves vulnerable when they're on the power play, because they feel a bit overconfident.
This is exactly what we're seeing here from the Quokkas. They're looking very dominant for this PK. Look, this looks like a power play in reverse.
It does. It looks the other way around. Absolutely. We've got a couple of seconds left on the penalty. South Australia trying to clear it out when they're on the power play. And we've got 42 seconds to go with 10 minutes and 38 seconds to go in the third period of this second game of the CCM National Women's Tournament. Just to bring you up to speed, the score 2-0, 14 shots to the Wolves, 12 shots to the Quokkas, but the Quokkas with the 2 goals as South Australia trying desperately to score a goal. They need to get one now if they're going to give themselves a chance in this game. And with 18 seconds to play on the power play, they need to get something happening. But the West Australian defence has been up for it so far. But South Australia with a little bit of an opportunity now. Can they get a shot away, or are they just going to carry the puck around? To get a shot away, it's a close.
Kira Cook
just
so
cleared
close,
out.
So close there by Kira Cook. She
West
did
Australia's
all the hard work.
And that winds up the penalty. We're back to full strength for both teams with about 10 minutes to play. A great opportunity there by the South Australians. They've very nearly managed to stick it in, just not quite able to clean it up. And
we've got another penalty here. I think we're going to see an elbowing or perhaps a boarding.
Yeah.
That did look a little ugly there.
It did. That was a fairly distinct check in the back, and I'm not quite sure why our West Australians looking a bit unhappy about the call. It's pretty obvious from where we're standing.
Hannah Everly there with the call.
That's 2 minutes, and it gives Adelaide another opportunity to get that goal that they so desperately need with 9 minutes to play, 9 minutes and 20 seconds with the drop of the puck. It'll be 9:15. Can they get another opportunity, and can they stick that little black rubber thing in the twine? We'll see how it goes. They get a chance now with a loose puck bobbling around in the slot, but the West Australian iceHQ clear it down the other end and run the clock down.
Very efficient.
So what we'll see now
from the Quokkas
is well, they've gone a long way up on that very aggressive power play, very aggressive penalty kill. If they get caught out, they're in trouble. That's the thing, Craig. If they get caught out in that situation,
they can be. I think
they're in trouble.
They're probably banking on that A, the 2-goal lead, and B, the fact that the periods are so short.
That does make a difference.
Even if the Wolves can score once, they're going to have to be very, very. They're going to have to work very hard to score a second time.
They certainly are. But here's Adelaide with their opportunity. If they can
not
put themselves offside.
They've got a couple of players here still struggling to come to grips with the offside.
Very
rule.
offside. I'm not quite sure why that wasn't blown up. But anyway, because the only way they learn is if they get penalised for it. So that was riding there, getting pinged for it.
I think it'll sink in. Smith just makes another save there.
So they get a shot. West Australians now trying to break it out. And all they need to do now is just dump it down the other end and force the South Australians to go and get it. And as we've seen quite as often the case, they end up offside a lot of the time.
Yeah, this is this power play is still just working on sorting out its positioning and just keeping in the right lanes. But I'm sure they'll get there by the end of the weekend.
35 seconds to go in the power play for the Adelaide Wolves. Can they get that goal that they need? Maybe. They get a nice shot across the front, but not quite able to put it away. But it's still in. No, the West Australians break it out. And we've got 20 seconds to go on the penalty before we get back to full strength. As Brewer dumps the puck deep down the other end. Smart play from her. She's not taking any silly risks. Just fire it down the other end and let the other team run the puck down for you. 3 seconds to go on the penalty. And the West Australian Ice Quokkas are back to full strength. And with 2-goal lead to the Quokkas, 2-0. 7 minutes left to play in this second game of the CCM National Women's Tournament. South Australia get a shot on, and beautiful glove save there by Madeline Reid. Madeline Smith. Beautiful save. Very nicely done.
I like Smith in net. She's very organised.
She made it look like they passed it to her. Now, this is, of course, not the case, but she made it look easy.
A
good goalie will make it look easy.
Great position save. She's good down low. She's got a good glove.
Absolutely. She hasn't let anything in so far, and she's had quite a lot of shots on her. They're up to 16 shots so far on her, and she's let nothing in, which is a pretty good statistic. And some of them have been pretty good shots too. There's another opportunity for South Australia, trying to put that puck through the slot. It's not quite able to tip it in, but that's the way to do it. Just keep trying to create the opportunities, and sooner or later, opportunities turn into goals. They're doing a good job of tying up in front of the net. There's no loose players in the slot for South Australia. The West Australians doing an excellent job of tying that up. Well, they've got one now, though. See the loose player, but they fix it up. That's nice. And it's good work by Western Australia in just owning that space, not giving the South Australians any room to move. The puck goes all the way down the other end. Have we got a hand up for icing? We do. And the West Australians this time will have to go back for a defensive zone face-off, and they're not allowed to change. He'll have tired legs. It is the third period by now. Everyone's got tired legs, but they've got tired legs. Our next game coming up very shortly will be between the Central Coast Stingrays and the Melbourne Reds, and that'll be a cracker as well. We're looking forward to seeing all 6 of these teams. I'm sorry, I'll get that right eventually, as the West Australians win the face-off, try and clear it out. But Adelaide keep the puck in, looking for an opportunity to try and put the puck on net, passing into the slot. West Australians just starting to cherry pick a little bit about the back there. That was 89 for West Australia. Just Ashley Cameron looking for an opportunity to get a sneaky goal or an escape, and not quite able to get it, but setting up for it.
Here comes Zooks again. Just trying to get that shot away. It's blocked at high slot.
Adelaide tying it up high in the slot position and not quite clearing the puck.
Sutton.
Can they get the shot in? Will West Australia get another shot on the net? They've got a player loose in the slot with no one on her. They want to do something about that, Adelaide. A lot of puck bobbling around, and
the referee signalled a goal.
Yep. A loose bobbler eventually went in with just a bit of force of sheer willpower and whacking sticks around there, I think.
So that puck must have just squirted through Lovell there. And again, she tries to cover that puck, but it's just scraped through.
Not much you can do when you're just overwhelmed by numbers like that. She did everything she could. Because that.
So you see Zooks take that shot there.
She's made Sutton, 2 saves,
Sutton
3
has
saves.
Another, and then it's actually her own defence who puts her stick in there to try to cover that puck, and I think that actually ends up knocking the puck through Lovell and into the back of the net.
It could well have done, yes. We're not quite sure what's going on here. A little bit of a discussion with the referees.
I think they're discussing about goaltender interference, perhaps, or crease violations, but
I'm not sure it counts when it's your own player.
I would say so. I would say that's exactly what referee Zach Searle is explaining.
No, it was one of yours that did it. So you can't pick that one. So with 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go. West Australian there in storm, just putting herself into the boards and rattling the cage.
Just testing to make sure that gate is holding.
We can assure you this place has been knocked over by Michael McMahon. And there's no bigger hitter in this country. When he was playing here in one of the games against South Australia, no, against the Brisbane team for the Pacific League, he hit the board so hard that he actually shut down the server.
Well, that puck is loose. It's loose. What have we got here? Oh, look at that. Smith managed to just cover it. It was loose there for a second, and she must have just hunched down on top of that puck.
That's the old bottom save. Stick your backside on it and stop the puck. It's not going anywhere then. It's quite safe. But Michael McMahon hit the boards here so hard in a check that he carried out in one of the Pacific League games. He'd actually knocked the server over and shut down all the computers. We're offline for 3 minutes. It was like, yes. The earth moved.
Don't do that. Don't do that, Muff.
No, they felt that in Christchurch.
Here comes Holman with a puck. She wins that battle. She's alone down in the corner.
2 minutes.
We need someone. One of those Perth players has to go to that net in that situation.
Yeah, they're doing that pretty well. They've played a good structured game in that regard, Craig. I think they've done all right. A nice little
Lovell covers
save.
it over as Holman comes in looking for that juicy rebound again.
So the question you ask at this point, it's a 3-goal lead. Do you pull your goalie?
No.
Yeah.
No,
Do you use it as an opportunity to practice?
You could.
Maybe.
You could
'Cause
argue
if they haven't
that.
done much, if you haven't done a 6-on-5 before.
That's true.
Give it a go.
The difficulty that you have in this situation is the fact that it's a running clock.
That's true.
So in a stop clock situation, you might consider it, but in a running clock situation, no, I would advise against it. Unless, like you say, you want to practice.
2 minutes to go. They can't win from here. May as well try it.
They may as well. 151, in fact.
Yep. I'd do it.
If they're going to do it, you do it now.
I'd pull my
If you're going to
goalie.
do it, you do it now. There's no signal there from the Adelaide coach.
Oh, beautiful cross the net there by Adelaide, but just not quite able to stick it in the net. That was a beautiful play, deep into the corner, and then a swift and crisp pass across the net. It's not quite going in, and breaking out again with just under a minute to play, I think. As soon as this
Here comes
replay
Harper.
manages, just over a minute to go.
Plays broken up there by Darlene Harris.
Let's see what goes on here. Can Adelaide get one on the net? Can they get one? And they were very close in that last little stanza of play. Very close to getting it in. It was a very crisp pass across the front. And all it would have taken was the smallest of tips. Just not quite able to get it going. But you make your opportunities, and who knows what will happen. Adelaide with another break now down the right-hand side of the rink, looking to get a shot away. Carrying the puck, gets the shot off, but behind the net. Puck still loose. Pass across the front. Puck still loose. West Australia not able to clear it. South Australia with an opportunity to get the shot on the net. Still deep into the corner. About a minute to play. Can they get that goal? Will it happen? It happened in the last game for the Furies. They managed to get a goal in, but West Australia managed to clear it out in the end. And with 30 seconds to play, the puck down the far end in the defensive zone for Adelaide, and it plays back to West Australia with a chance to shoot. Just a little dribbler across the front. You miss the ones you don't take. But this is the last 15 seconds, the last chance for Adelaide. Can they get a shot on the net? They've broken over the line, looking for a shot, and the West Australians clear it out. And with 6 seconds to go, that's going to be their last chance, I think.
Here comes Sayers. She's got one last chance. She takes a shot. We've got a penalty here, but the goal is scored anyway. Now, that's a really interesting penalty. That's actually throwing the stick, which is, in fact, a penalty shot.
Absolutely, but they scored the goal anyway.
They scored the goal anyway.
But if the goal hadn't have been scored, that would have finished with a penalty shot.
Correct.
So an interesting thing to happen. We haven't seen that happen very often. It is a rule. It's just a suggestion for anyone watching this. If you're thinking of copying that, don't ever throw your stick.
No,
it's not a good idea.
That Quokkas line of Sayers, Seen and Mitchell, very strong line. And
certainly was.
That minute to go, the fact that the coach was able to throw that line out there and just dominate. We've actually got the penalty shot called here by the looks. So maybe that puck didn't go in. I missed the replay there. So there was no goal on the play. So we have a penalty shot.
Yep. Who have we got taking it is
number 16, Chloe Sayers. That's the player that was actually in that situation.
So the rule here is the puck must go forwards. You're not allowed to take multiple shots. You've only got one chance, and the puck has to move forward all the time. Shot away.
Saved by Lovell.
Didn't matter because it wasn't going to change the score or else. But it was a bit of pride. But yeah, again, the point there is, don't throw your stick away, yeah?
Great call from the referee, I have to say, too. So well spotted by the referee there. I think that was Zach Searle that made that call.
And that winds up game 2 of the CCM National Hockey Women's Tournament between the West Australian Ice Quokkas with 3 goals, 1 to Pia Steele, 1 to Jenna Mitchell and 1 to Zoe Sutton, and none to the Adelaide Wolves.
Shutout.
Played well.
Shutout to Madeline Smith.
Yeah,
well done.
Madeline Smith. She made some pretty good saves. Zoe Holman scoring one of the goals. Jenna Mitchell and Hannah Everly. Sorry, penalties, I should say, to Holman, Mitchell and Everly. And we haven't got the last penalty shot there for the throwing of the stick, the interference.
No, it doesn't get recorded.
Doesn't get recorded.
No.
There you go. But I've got a referee here to explain it all. But great spectacle, and again, we are absolutely thrilled to have these players coming over to play here in Melbourne from South Australia and West Australia, especially with the trauma of the last couple of years.
Absolutely, yeah.
It is fantastic to have them making the big trip, and we are absolutely delighted that they're here, and we're looking forward to seeing them over the weekend. We'll be playing games tomorrow, and the finals will be on Sunday afternoon, and we expect this place to light up. Our next game in about 15 minutes will be between the Central Coast Stingrays and the Melbourne Reds, and that will be starting in about 15 minutes from now.